chess reliably. But Prague's feelings on this matter, I don't quite know.
Prague, very unusual for the top level players.
It
takes in this event?
30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, and
Instantly French.
And also that is an additional issue because Levon is now no longer
Automatic
an exclusive E45 player. He does a lot of these things as well. Yeah, in Prague. 92, interesting choice here because
not an advance.
Yeah, E5 I think these days is considered to be the most challenging and ambitious reply to the French. With knight c3 still firmly is a second best, and knight d2 I wouldn't say disappeared. I think knight of 3 c takes d4, knight takes d4 still exists as a serious option, but even that is not on the menu today.
Right.
Prague, one thing I will say, Prague kind of notably became a French player himself. Last year he played it a couple of times in the candidates and he's played it since. So he's not unaware of this opening. He has ideas pretty much everywhere, I would expect. But yeah, a little bit of a surprise already because this line. I mean, there are some interesting gambles available to white. 27, by the way, when you and then I were growing up, this wasn't really a thing. Everybody automatically put it d6. But these days, 27, I would argue maybe even is the move people make. Don't ask me exactly why.
Right.
But there are some small differences. I'm guessing in simplistic terms, it just allows you to develop the bishop on f8 to squares that aren't available if you put the queen on d6.
Right. As Peter has been mentioning, this has been for quite a number of decades the automatic move, and you're not afraid of knight e4 in this particular position because you do have queen b6. But queen d7, as Peter has been explaining, has become the modern top choice, as Peter was mentioning. Wherever you put the queen, whether it be on d6 or d7, you're kind of stepping in the way of the bishops.
Yeah.
But from the d7 square,
you're only blocking the French bishop, so you're not.
Right.
It's going to be on c7 anyway, in most cases, regardless of where it begins.
Right.
But there are some differences in the immediate few moves. You can, of course, still play knight b3 here.
Yeah.
But there are also some, and knight b3 has been played, so what I was trying to
to be making a dead draw now.
Opposite color bishops.
Opposite colored bishops. Prague made that decision while casting an eye towards the games of his rivals. But okay.
Yeah. I think maybe he would have wanted to play a little bit with Bishop E1 just to be, but not clear to me at all.
Not expecting to take with the pawn.
Well,
Doesn't really matter.
You need a passer, but the king.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
If you were to give a summary of this game, Peter.
I think Prague came to the board with the idea of being extremely solid, was maybe somewhat surprised by the French, but did have a plan for the French in mind, played a very, very contained, solid line, got the queens off by move 10, and Levon maybe could have played slightly more ambitiously right out of the opening, but once White got the position with the bishop there, it was only really a question whether White can be better, and Levon held it quite comfortably, so the answer to that is no.
Nope.
And the game will now be a draw.
Yeah, bishops of opposite color. Okay, with this, Prague retires with a +2 result.
Otherwise,
and
knight made it to d4. Let's check that.
Well, that's a good thing. And by the way, it's very, very hard. One of the hardest things in chess mastery is sometimes just to take.
In this position.
They are repeating.
Yeah.
Great tournament for Prague.
I wanted to say absolutely the same thing. I mean, hearty congratulations.
That's his second year playing in Bucharest, tied for first, or maybe even winning the tournament outright this time round.
Right,
But definitely not a worse result than a tie for first so far.
right.
Was in a tie last year, will be at least in a tie for first this year.
Wow.
Now he has to just sit back and wait for the other players.
International arbiter is confirming that the draw is a draw. The repetition stands. Congratulations to Prague. It now falls to Ali Reza
MVL and Fabi.
and Fabi. Are you going to get into a playoff? And for Levon, a disappointing finish the last 3 rounds.
Definitely.
I mean, he had given himself a chance to be in the mix, but that loss.
Yeah, yesterday Gukash played a fantastic game, very accurate
Yeah,
calculation.
he had the white pieces.
Yeah.
Gukash had been playing a poor tournament. Over to you, Peter.
Yeah, a lot of developments in our game between Nordbeck and Wesley. Arguably the sharpest